Okay then, Dan, so taking a look at these two swings here now. The left-hand one was kind of your before movement. As I say, generally setup wasn't too bad. Ball position back a smidgen. Main issue we see here now, there's not really much kind of movement there with your sort of lower half especially. Your arms on the club being taken away sort of in that first part of the swing. Not really engaging your hips, your knees and your shoulders as that club goes back. So the engine, as we said, not really working as well. And when you get to about halfway back, your left arm now kind of just pulls your body around. In that sort of process, you can see the sort of lateral movement there in your hips. We sort of put some lines on here, how your hips now slide over to your trail side. The problem is here now, getting back to the golf ball has been very, very difficult. If you try to drive your lower half where you want your left hip to be, you'll come way from the inside, bottom of the club out, hit that kind of weak, pushy, cutty one out to the right, or you'll be forced from this position to kind of come over the top. And that's when you get that kind of steep, over the top, cutty, slicey shot, losing a lot of yardage. So the feeling really is that sort of the hips now, as they sort of set up, hips and shoulders are going to be creating the movement. We want this right hip to be sort of sliding along a wall, kind of in that sort of pivoting position, going towards target. So we can see here now, we've got a few practice swings here. When you go back, you can see how your hips there move towards target. This is the move you need to be practicing over and over again. Head staying very stable. Trail hip now almost effectively moving towards target, getting yourself to the top of the backswing position, more like so, with a little bit of sort of spine angle lean. And now from this position, obviously you better come down. Your hips could move a lot more towards the target without really having to shift and slide and cause that issue with the path. So do that in your practicing. Obviously when you're playing today, as we said, just think about hitting the ball. Once you're over the golf ball, then what we'd hope to with the practice movements that we do, we kind of get somewhere in between, which we can see on this one here now. Your hip has kind of stayed in the same position as opposed to sliding out this way. In an ideal world, we'll get it eventually moving in that direction towards target on the backswing, and then we're able to move back into impact. But at least at this impact position, the arms and the club are much more of a straighter line. Right arm now nicely underneath, as opposed to this left arm one. Because of that steeper angle and you're going to cut it, you can almost see your right arm here now pulling away from the body. The sort of daylight we've got there between your right arm here and the sort of side of your body. As you then come in, your impact now, next frame there's impact, your hands now behind the golf ball, sort of scooping that ball, which will add loft to the golf club, cause you sort of thin it possibly, or scoop it a little bit, losing that power as you said you were. So work on that hip movement, get that body working better in practice, just rehearse that over and over again to the point where it just becomes sort of second nature. And like I say, when you're hitting the golf ball, ultimately focus on the golf balls. Hope that makes sense, buddy. Any questions on me, give me a shout. But we'll see you in a couple of weeks before you go on holiday. Try and get this dialed in, get yourself moving even better as we go forward. So take it easy, buddy, and I'll see you soon. Cheers, Dan.